turkeys are very social critters. They're very curious birds, and they'll come right up to you. And if you want to talk turkey to them, they're perfectly happy to talk turkey back. Right, guys? Well, we're about to meet a man who's been talking turkey for the past 35 years, and he can tell you anything you want to know about turkeys.
The turkeys we raise now are white, and they came from the original wild turkeys. Now, the difference between the tom and the tom is almost twice as big as the hen when he gets mature. When he dresses 30 pounds, the hen will dress 17, 18, or 19, almost double. And then he can make his face almost from a pale color like he's sick to blue or to red or a combination of red and blue, however he decides to put on an impression to the females around him.
John Tewes has the kind of knowledge of turkeys and chickens that you can only get by spending a lifetime in the poultry business. At the age of 71, John has worked with poultry for almost 65 years. His father was one of the first people in northern Kentucky ever to breed chickens on a large scale. And today, John has nearly 15,000 birds on his farm in Erlanger. Now, you and I may think about turkey only once or twice every year, but at the Teweses, it's a day they spend half the year preparing for.
They're a day old when we get them, and then we feed them their first feed. When they're about 6 to 8 weeks old, we move them from their broiler quarters, where they got plenty of heat, to a barn, and we vaccinate them. They're vaccinated for fowlpox at that time. We keep them inside the barn until they're 12 weeks, and that bunch that's earmarked for Thanksgiving, we put on range. And they have their feed and water outside. Turkey at 6 months is mature. It's got the proper quality to its meat and the right amount of fat to make it nice and juicy.
Of course, the public's appetite for turkey tends to be seasonal, but its taste for chicken and eggs remains constant throughout the year. So it's those 12,000 pullets and roosters on the Tewes farm who demand most of the attention. It sometimes seems like an awful lot of work, but John and his wife Mary get plenty of help from their 10 daughters and 8 sons and their 48 grandchildren, who all live nearby and who all lend a hand with the chores. One of the most important chores is the gathering of the 5,000 eggs that the chickens lay each day.
Well, a chicken lays an egg, let's say, 5 or 6 days a week. In a year's time, it could reproduce itself between 250 and 300 times.
After the eggs have been gathered, they must be inspected for blood spots and then graded and sorted according to weight. Now, if you or I had 5,000 fresh eggs on our hands every day, we'd probably want to sell them to a big grocery store just to get rid of them all. But not John Tewes. He discovered long ago that it's somewhat more profitable and a great deal more satisfying to sell your products directly to the public, even if you have to deliver them door to door.
When I was around 14, I drove a truck and started a route from then on. And right now, I know we deliver to 2 homes that we've been delivering to for about, at least 55 years.
Today, it's John's son Dan and his wife Darlene who drive the route, but they're just the latest in a string of Tewes children who've made the same deliveries. Regular customers down through the years have had the chance to see the Tewes kids grow up, and it's just this sense of family that makes the Tewes farm much more than a business.
Well, a lot of people don't understand farming as a way of life. The fact that you're your own boss and you're out in the open and can make your hours, early or late, is a big thing. And of course, the food that you grow on your farm can be the very best. Nobody can get it fresher or better. We think we have just anything any millionaire would ever have. Oh, we're millionaires. What the hell? It's tied up in kids.
Why do you think the family, all 18 kids, have stayed fairly close to home?
I explained to my son and to my son-in-law now, who has a big job with Shillitoes, that the grass is not always greener on the other side. That the comparable job in New York City is here too, but it's up to you to find it. see. And then you're closer to home and you're happier than living all by yourself, maybe someplace else, because you're making a few more bucks.
But in fact, the grass looks pretty green to Tom Tewes, who has occasionally thought about moving on to other pastures.
Oh, I have, but it's nothing like having a place that you can say is, part mine. You can say, well, it's the farm, it's ours together. You go to work for somebody else, you always got a boss. Well, this way, you see what has to be done. You're part of the thing. You see what has to be done, you can do it. And the betterment for the whole family, for the whole farm.
All in all, I guess you'd have to say that the Tewes family is more fortunate than most. For the rest of us, it's only once or twice a year that we can gather all together round a table and a turkey and count our blessings as a family. But for the Teweses, their good health and their good fortune make every day Thanksgiving Day.